The Memphis Grizzlies lost on Saturday night to the Golden State Warriors in game number 3. They now trail 2-1. Ja Morant did go down in this game, but let's focus on who was unavailable for the Memphis Grizzlies on Saturday night. That would be Dillon Brooks, and it's because in game 2, Dillon Brooks was called for a flagrant 2 foul in the opening moments on this hard foul he put on Gary Payton II, who not only left that game, Gary Payton has fractured his elbow. His season is most likely done. Dillon Brooks was ejected from that basketball game in Memphis and then suspended for game 3. So, for those who don't know, I am a Los Angeles Lakers fan. I don't want to make that clear. I'm a Lakers guy, all right? But I'm from Memphis. And obviously, my Lakers are not around. So guess who I'm rooting for by default? I'm rooting for Memphis. I want them to win. It's great for my hometown city. Here's the thing. I've had so many people hit me up over the last few days screaming at me saying, hey, Dillon Brooks, he shouldn't have gotten suspended for game 3. Wasn't him being suspended for the remainder of game 2 enough? That flagrant 2 foul, him being ejected, wasn't that enough punishment? And I was like, look, I'm not surprised Dillon Brooks got suspended for game 3. I'm sorry if that doesn't fit your narrative. As a fan of the Grizzlies, if you're mad at your boy for saying the truth, but let me be clear, before I'm a fan of even any team, of any city, I'm unbiased first. And I got to be real with you guys. I wasn't mad at the league office for suspending Dillon Brooks for game 3. Now, if he would have played, I would have been cool with it as well, but I understood the suspension, and I'm just not surprised. When you wind up like that, and not make any play on the basketball, in which Dillon Brooks didn't make any play on the basketball, and then the announcement comes out that Gary Payton's MRI shows a fracture, fam, the league is going to respond to that. Gary Payton, one of the young top high flyers we got in the league, his dad is a Hall of Famer, a NBA 75 great. Come on, y'all. We can't act like these things are just removed from one another. Like, that matters. I know it's not supposed to matter, but it does matter. Golden State Warriors championship aspirations, arguably the NBA's golden team of the last decade. Come on now, bro. Like, they're going to get the benefit of the call. I think really what Memphis Grizzlies fans should be focused on more is the fact that this flagrant 2 foul kind of sums up Dillon Brooks' postseason, really his entire season. He's been there, but was he really there? The Grizzlies really got going with Dillon Brooks out due to injury. Desmond Bane filled his role perfectly, some would argue, and then some. Even though Bane is on a rookie contract while Dillon Brooks makes around $11 to $12 million a year for the Memphis Grizzlies. They don't pay a lot of guys. So Dillon Brooks is actually one of the higher paid guys on the team. Keep that in mind. Dillon Brooks came back from injury in the regular season and kind of just fat in to a system that had already gotten created and that already got going this season without him. Okay, he comes back. He was okay. Had a couple good games. He was okay. We get into the postseason against Minnesota. Dillon Brooks was awful in that series overall. I'm talking about chunking up 14, 15 shots, knocking down less than 33% of those shots in a couple of those games. He was awful. And because of Ja Morant's penetration, because of Desmond Bane's shooting ability, because of Jaren Jackson when he's on the court, a lot of Brooks' looks were wide open three-pointers. He was just off. And the way I see it is, Dillon Brooks, he brought those shooting struggles over from the Minnesota series into the Golden State Warriors series, and I'm looking at it like this. Yes, Steph Curry struggled in game 1, but he also struggled in game 2. Okay, if Dillon Brooks did nothing to stop Steph Curry or anything more than what the Grizzlies were able to do in game 2 without them since he got ejected in the first 3 minutes, what's the point in playing him? If he's not going to lock down Steph Curry, what's the point of having a guy on the court that is struggling to shoot the ball when I got some suitable options like DeAnthony Melton on that bench, Tyrus Jones on that bench? I like the minutes Zaire Williams gave Memphis in game 2. Now, in game 3, everything fell off the hinges in the second half. Golden State's the greatest third-quarter team I've ever seen. But be clear, I've yet to see anything from Dillon Brooks this postseason, make it this regular season included, that shows me he's warranted getting extra minutes. He'll get his opportunity to right them wrongs tonight in game 4. If Dillon Brooks comes out and performs with Ja Morant being down, if he can even help this team even this series up at 2, all is lost. It doesn't even matter how he struggled against Minnesota. It doesn't matter how he struggled against Golden State the first couple games into this series and ended up getting ejected. He can right all his wrongs with one great performance in this game. Desmond Bane is hurt. Jaren Jackson can't stay on the court. This is Dillon Brooks' moment to solidify himself again, because there are conversations being had. Will Memphis opt to look to trade Dillon Brooks in favor of keeping Desmond Bane? To me, the player with the more upside around long term. You know, a little more athletic, better shooter than Dillon Brooks. Not the defender that Dillon Brooks is, but he can learn. There's no reason why. He's already got the physical makeup Desmond Bane does. I'm in favor of Bane over Brooks, but Memphis ain't going to be able to pay all these guys. They're going to have to give Ja Morant max money in the next couple years here. I'm just saying, this is a big game for Dillon Brooks. I think more than anything, that flagrant 2 foul that Brooks put on Gary Payton II that cost him game 2 and for all intents and purposes game 3 as well, I think it kind of sums up what's been an awful kind of out of place. He struggled to find his way, has Brooks, with the Memphis Grizzlies this year. You're not going to hear a lot of national media talk about it because they don't watch Memphis. They want the Warriors to advance. Steph Curry, Steve Kerr, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. We get it. We understand it. They don't really watch Memphis. They know Ja Morant, and that's it. But if you actually watch the Grizzlies play, which I watch every team play night in and night out of the season, it doesn't take long to realize, oh, Brooks is really struggling to find his way. He ain't the guy that he was a couple years ago defensively, and if his offense ain't there, what is the real value in him being on the court? He can write all that with a great game 4, though. We'll see what happens tonight.